Alright guys, so another vlog. Today's topic is, I guess it's a story, but I guess it goes to prove, or I guess it's a reason for me to believe that things happen for a reason. So, went on a date on Thursday. We went to Plan B in Prospect Heights in Brooklyn. No, great feelings about it. Pretty whack waitress. She didn't pay attention to our table much at all. But yeah, so decent enough time on the date. Well, not decent enough time. I had a really good time on the date actually. So we leave maybe 2 something, and we get outside and we're gonna catch a cab so that I can get back to the bus because I parked my car by the bus stop. So we stop a cab. Well, a cab is at the light, so we walk up to the cab, and the guy I'm with is like, I need a cab for the lady. And the guy asks, where's she going? So he's like, does it matter? And the cab is like ignoring him now and is on the phone, and I'm not even really paying attention. I'm letting him do the whole guys hate the lead thing. And the cab just drives off. Just totally starts ignoring him and drives off. So we proceed to walk all the way up to Atlantic, and cab after cab after cab after cab continues to pass us by. Welcome to the black struggle for all my non-brown complexioned friends. It's a real thing. So still waiting for a cab, still trying to hail a cab. And one finally pulls over, thank the guy, really nice, and he takes us up to the first stop for the bus I need to get on. So we let the cab go because he's gonna wait, put me on the bus. I think I don't even know how that was gonna work. Was he gonna ride the bus all the way back and then ride it back? I don't really know, but he's like really gentlemanly and stuff like that, so likely would've. I might ask him. Anyway, so we get to the bus to see there's not going to be a bus for like another 4 hours. So we're standing there like, and we seriously just let the only cab that we can see in this area go. And there's no bus for like 4 hours. So as we're kind of having that revelation take place, some random kid comes up from the subway stairs right, next to us. And it's like, excuse me, can I borrow one of your phones to call my mom? Before I even process the entire thought, Data's like, no. And like totally dismisses the kid. So I'm just, okay, well, I'm glad he said that, because now in my head I'm like, sometimes I could be, a little too nice, and I'm thinking like, well, when I'm by myself, I'm thinking by myself things like extra defensive. But since I had him around, I guess I let my guard down, because I'm all, I feel kind of bad for the kid. Maybe he does need to call his mom. Anyway, the kid had gone back down the subway stairs, and while I'm all thinking all this, he comes back up the subway stairs again. So the kid comes up and I tell the kid, yo, come here. I said, I don't know you, so you're not touching anything. What is your mother's number? So I dialed the number. Mind you, it's like 2 something in the morning. Called this kid's mom, supposedly. Nobody picks up the phone. So I'm like, damn, if I had a kid, and my child wasn't securely in my home, or I didn't check in with my child to know, and then check in with the adult at the location where my child was, I wouldn't be able to go to sleep if my kid was out on the street. So in my head, I'm like, if this really is Shorty's mom, that's kind of like, love, if you will. Anyway, so I didn't tell the kid, like, where you trying to go? Because there's no bus over here for like the next 3 hours, 4 hours. And he's like, oh, I'm trying to go to X, Y, and Z by this school. And I'm like, well, I know exactly where you're going because that's on my route. So I'm like, well, start to explain to him that he could take the train to the other stop, and then it doesn't really make any sense, because if the bus isn't going to be here, it's not going to be there at the other spot. So anyway, I'm starting to feel bad for the kid, and then he just goes down the subway again, and we end up seeing a cab. So we walk over to the cab, we stop the cab, we get in, and I'm like, yo, go get that baby. Don't leave the baby here. Like, just go get the kid. And he's like, well, I'm not paying for the kid. And I'm like, I'll pay for the kid. Just, I'm not going to leave somebody's kid. And I had asked the kid how old he was, and he said he's 14. So I'm not going to leave somebody's child Like, I have little cousins that are 14 years old, and I'm looking at them like, you guys are like children. So anyway, he goes to get the kid. Now I'm starting to talk to the cab driver and tell him where we need to go. And his whole thing is, no, I'm not going there. I'm like, sir, I smooth need you to get me 10 minutes from where I am right now. I can direct you where we gotta go. Show him the phone. These are the directions. It's trying to freaking talk. And he's just, no, I'm not going that way. And at the same time, he's trying to wave other cabs away. So now I'm starting to argue with the cab driver. Like, why are you telling other cabs to go if you're not going to take me? If you're not going to take me, let one of these cabs stop so that one of the other cabs can take me where I need to go. So he's, oh, do you want me to hold? Yes, I want you to call the freaking cab for me if you're not going to take me where I need to go. So I'm getting anxious again. So anyway, he ends up stopping the cab. I send Date out to go talk to the cab because the cab driver's, oh, how much you want to pay? No, we're not going to go through this. Let me know how much it's going to be, and I'll let you know if I'm actually going to pay that one way or the other. He goes to go talk to the cab driver, and I'm sitting here talking to the kid like, who are you? Like, what is your name? He tells me his name. So I'm like, all right, sir. My name is Dana. Oh, my mother's name is Dana. I am old enough to be this kid's mom. I would have started having kids early, but he is old enough for him to have come from my loin. So when he said that, it was kind of like, oh, okay. And that Dana has you out here 2 something in the morning and isn't answering phone calls from strangers. All right. So then I started to give him a little lecture. Don't let this happen to you again. Plan your route out. Know where you're going. Don't get caught out there. Do right. I have a thing for just lecturing the youth, if you will. A lot of my little cousins can attest to that. But I do it from a place of love. I do. So anyway, Date comes back, tells us how much the cab is. I'm going to pay the cab. Let's go. So we get in the cab, and we're riding there. So we finally get to this kid's house. Well, actually, we get to where this kid says his house is. And I'm kind of like, all right, now, use your words, talk. Like, because he was a nice enough kid. It wasn't any, serious conversation we had. But we did a short little talk about my borough's better than your borough. Because he and I were from the same borough. And Date was from another borough. So it was kind of like, oh, ha, 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 joke, whatever. So now we get to the point where this little kid has to give directions. And I guess Date and I are kind of trying to feel out if Shorty was lying because, believe it or not, children do drugs too. So it could have been, now of course everything is racing in my mind. Did Shorty lie for the come up? Did he lie for a ride? Like, what was it? I didn't get that vibe from him, but just because I don't get the vibe doesn't mean that it's not happening. Anyway, so then we're like, all right, where do you need to go? Talk. Tell the driver where you gotta go. Should you make this left or the next left? So we get to where this kid lives. And he gets out. Rings bell. No answer. Walks down the stairs, walks around to the side of the house, looks up to see if there's lights on or nothing or whatever, walks back around, rings bell again, rings bell about 3-4 times. Gets back to the car and proceeds to break my heart. His next words are, man, I hate when she does that. She gets drunk and disappears. Now, I know that not everybody has the best parents. I mean, my own parents have their flaws, but I know for damn sure they would never leave me in a predicament where their fun and their social life or whatever, with their wants superseded my needs. I felt horrible for this kid. And I knew that even as a kid, that must have been embarrassing. Where you have somebody, well actually now 3 people, the cab driver and the 2 of us, not necessarily the cab driver included, but you've got the 2 of us that are doing something nice for you. And, we're strangers, just nice people or whatever. And for you to have to then not have somebody to just, let you in the house, just to welcome you, say, okay, be safe for the night. I felt horrible. So he's like, yeah, I'm just woke up to my grandma. Okay, get in the car. We're not going to let you, we got you this far, we're not going to let you just wander off someplace. Get in the car, we'll take you to your grandmother's house. So we ride up to kid's grandmother's house, who thankfully is only 2 blocks away, maybe 3. And pull up, kid goes across the street. Now, mind you, when he got out the car, when he dropped him off at his mother's house or whoever's house the first time, little man didn't say thank you. So I said to Date, little man didn't even say thank you. And the Date proceeds to just be like, yo, blah, 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 the little kid this, F this too, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, don't be mad at him, because he obviously wasn't raised to say thank you. We obviously weren't raised the same way he was. For somebody to not be concerned with your well-being at that time of night, pretty sure, you know, things like thank you or, you know, I appreciate your help aren't necessarily on the list of priorities, I guess, for the parent to impart upon the child. So I felt no way. I mean, I just felt, I felt horrible for the kid, but I didn't feel wronged that he didn't say thank you. I didn't get, you know, salty or anything. So when the kid came back to the car before we took him to his grandmother's house, you know, we drove him to his grandmother's house, and then as he's getting out the car to go to his grandmother's house, I told him, when somebody does something nice for you, you say thank you. And then he says, oh, I'm sorry, thank you. And then says thank you to the boy. I'm like, no, we're beyond you thanking me at this point. We're beyond that. The next time somebody does something nice for you, you say thank you. And I told him to pay it forward. I told him to do something kind for absolutely anyone he can do something kind for. Somebody that can't do anything nice for him back. You just do something good for somebody else, and you just don't fuck up in life. Just be good. Be a good person. And he got out, and thank God somebody opened the door in like 45 seconds at this house. So I just felt like all of those cabs not picking us up, the bus not being there, everything happened for me and this guy to be in the right spot so that we could get that kid home safely. You can think of 1,000,007 different wild things that can happen to a young girl or a young woman or an older woman on this street at night by themselves. And a lot of times we don't worry about our sons. We don't worry. I mean, in the black community, of course, we worry about our sons around the police and, you know, gang violence. But in the middle of no place at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, thankfully, I'm not creative enough to think of all the horrible things that could have happened to him, but I'm not naive enough to know that there aren't horrible things that could have happened to him. So I'm just glad that God put me in the position to be able to help that kid. So I guess this video is to implore upon you guys to just do something good for someone that can do absolutely nothing for you in return. Pay it forward. Most of us have seen the movie. We get the premise, like we understand the principle. But a lot of times we're given the opportunity to do it and kind of dismiss it. So I'm asking you to pay it forward. Sometime soon, pay it forward. So for now, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe, like, comment, share. Just, you know, stay in touch. Oh, and I would love to hear what you guys do to pay it forward, not as like a way to brag, but as a way to inspire other people to pay it forward. If, you know, there are even 5 different comments of different people doing something, hopefully it can be a motivation for number 6, number 12, number 72 to say, that's a good idea. I actually have a neighbor that's in that same predicament. Maybe I can do that for them. So talk to me. Share your good deeds so that you can inspire somebody else to do something good. Bye, guys.